For our project, we considered 5 different cities to invest in living in the future. We researched all of our cities in detail and chose the best ones to invest in. We looked at Tahoe, California, Oahu, Hawaii, Laguna Beach, California, Miami, Florida, and Portland, Oregon. Tahoe has a safe geosphere with little geohazards. There is a large supply of fresh water from Lake Tahoe and a lot of rainfall. There are a ton of attractions here, like the lake and skiing. It has good air quality and there is no state income tax. Laguna has a moderate geosphere with a few geohazards such as earthquakes and cyclones. There is very high water quality and not a lot of rain. There are many things to do and there is very nice weather. Miami has a pretty safe geosphere. The only thing that would be concerned would be the chance of cyclones or hurricanes. There would be a chance of mercury in the water, and there are a few golf courses around. There is fairly nice weather and no state tax here. Portland has a very safe geosphere with moderate chance of volcano action. There are very many golf courses around, but has an average freshness of water. The weather is fairly nice, but a little chilly. To pick our final city, we made a scale. We labeled each section of our notes based on the most important. For example, the earthquake category is worth 3 times as much as the golf courses. This is because an earthquake is a much bigger effect than an area rather than the number of golf courses. After making our scale, we did a test. The lower number, the better. We rated each location from 1 to 5 in each category. We then added up the numbers for each category. The city that had the lowest number was Oahu, Hawaii. This is why we believe that Oahu would be the best place for a home. Oahu's geosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere lead us to believe that we would want to invest a house here. We have a lot of evidence to support our decision with Oahu, Hawaii. There is very little pollution on the island of Oahu. After a big storm hits, the water will not be safe for 12 hours after. This is because the water comes up onto the street. Then it goes back into the ocean, taking the dirt off the ground. This can cause some problems for swimmers and surfers. There are 16 great golf courses on the island of Oahu, which makes property value much higher. The average house value is $529,000. Plus, the crime rate is very low. It ranges from 0 to 64 crimes per every 100,000 people. Next, we're going to talk about geosphere. There is a low chance of an earthquake on Oahu. This is because they're not very close to any tectonic plates. The hurricane winds are also very low and range from 0 to 59 miles per hour. This means that if a hurricane were to hit Oahu, it would most likely only be one on the Saffir-Simpson scale. This means that there would be minimal damage. There is a moderate chance of cyclones to hit Oahu also. Finally, Hawaii is known for its volcanoes. Though there is a risk of volcano eruption, it is very unlikely because the volcanoes on the island are not very active. The most hazardous part would be the leftover ashes and gases from the other Hawaiian islands nearby. Next, we are going to talk about the hydrosphere. Oahu gets an average of 24 inches of rain per year and 0 inches of snow per year. Oahu has a very good source of fresh water. They get the fresh water primarily from underground sources dependent on northwest trade winds. Finally, we are going to talk about the atmosphere. Oahu is a very warm place. The average year-round temperature is 70 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. The CO2 level in the atmosphere is 0%. This is very good. That means that the air is very clean, which also is another thing about Oahu. The air quality is very high. This means that there is not a lot of pollution in the air at all. This will allow residents to be active longer and safer. In Oahu, there is an average of 12 hours of sunlight per day. All of these are reasons we stated before are why we chose Oahu as a place we would like to live in the future. Thank you for watching our video. Goodbye.